The days are gone when your vehicle got stuck in the Rebecca River when it rains. The days are gone when you stay on this side of the river from midnight until morning to go across. Those days are gone. You know why those days are gone? Because of the vision that the ULP brought to North Windward through the Unity Labour Party and Comrade Montgomery Daniel. I believe the bridge over the Rebecca is one of the most important, one of the most necessary development that took place in North Windward. Drive straight across, whether it rains or suns, whether the river comes down or not, you go across and you are gone. That's the service that they deserve, and that is the service they got from our brother Montgomery Daniel. Today, we initiate a playing field. And the government has a program that we call Sports Against Crime. And we know that when we have young people involved in sports and activity, when they can play football, when they can play cricket, when they can play netball or whatever, it keeps them away from criminal activities. And that is what we are bringing this evening to North Windward. That's what we are bringing to Langley Park. That's what you deserve. That's what you asked for, and that's what you're going to get. Your playing field here in North Windward. My brothers and sisters, we must give thanks. We must give praise. The weather is fine. The land is green. There is food in abundance. For all those things, we dare not be ungrateful to Almighty God. I want to welcome our Prime Minister as he comes in to join in the ceremony.
We present you the message, and we're letting you know that if you're uncertain,
let's put our hands together for the comrade.
will be in the numbers.
As I was saying, my brothers and sisters, development has come to North Windward. Apart from the playing field that is going to start not too long from now, apart from the Rebecca Bridge, apart from the good roads right into Fancy, you have up at Owea a fisheries complex that is first class anywhere in the Caribbean. All we have to do is to use it and use it well. Because in the sea, we have an abundance of resources that has to be used. And you have up there a good facility that will allow you to do that. And I implore all the people of that part of the island to use our facility and use it well. And those of you who are involved in the production of arrowroot, you will notice that the government has a plan for the construction of a new factory not too long from now. Millions of dollars is poured in every year into North Windward, into the arrowroot farmers and workers. And all those who plant made a living by it. And the thing to do is to develop that industry and take it as far as you can go with it. And the new factory is important, and that is what we're going to give to you in the next two or so years. So the development, my brothers and sisters, is on its way. The development is coming. But for the development to come true, I am urging you to go on November 5th and vote heavily again for the Unity Labour Party and for your comrade, Montgomery Daniel. That is the only way we can continue and go all the way with this development if you go back and make sure that Montgomery wins again. And I have no doubt that with the ULP and with Comrade Montgomery, it will be 5 in a row. That's what it will be, 5 in a row. I was speaking down in South Central some time ago, and a little girl said to me, she said, Mr. Walters, whenever you speak, you must say, anything you say, we will say 5 in a row. The lady said, anything you say, Mr. Walters, we will say 5 in a row. So I said, hit him a blow. And the people shouted. So I said, another blow. And the people shouted. 5 in a row. We have to keep going, man. We have to keep the work going. My brothers and sisters, the New Democratic Party has one pillar that they're offering for the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know what that pillar is? You know what it is? They're talking about selling passports. That's what they're talking about. They have not spoken about what they want to do for agriculture. They have not spoken what they want to do for North Windward. They have not spoken how to develop the fisheries sector. They have not spoken how to further the education revolution. All they're talking about, the Citizen by Investment program selling passports. I will tell you why we must not allow it. The St. Vincent and Grenadines passport is one of the most sought after passports in the entire world. Everybody wants to get their hand on the St. Vincent passport. If we allow it to lose its value by going into the Citizen by Investment where they sell it, it would lose its importance, it would lose its value, it would lose its proper meaning. We therefore can't allow that. When your passport gets into the hands of criminals and nefarious people, you are open to international sanctions. Wherever you go, people want to impose restrictions on you, visa restrictions, because the people who are selling it to, they don't want them in their country. We must therefore guard our citizenship. Our citizenship cannot be for sale. It cannot be for sale. The NDP is targeting China to sell the passports. My brothers and sisters, we have hundreds of millions of people living in China. In St. Vincent, we have about 110,000 people. You hear me? 110,000 people. So if you allow them and they get a chance to sell your passport to Chinese, and they sell your passport to about 5 million Chinese people, it will mean that those who hold the passport become Vincentian citizens. You get that? Imagine that we are in this country and there's 110,000 of us and 5 million Chinese come here because they have the passport. What happened to us? What happened to us? We lose our culture. We lose our economy. We are totally swamped. We must not allow that. So we must go on November 5th and vote solidly for Montgomery Daniel and the Unity Labour Party. That must not happen. It must not happen. Those Caribbean countries, brothers and sisters, that have embarked on this selling of passports, citizenship by investment, I understand that at one time they made a lot of money. But it can only sell to so many people. And when that selling is dried up, where is the revenue coming from? We have heard of the problems of some countries with the influx of Chinese in their country. The Chinese buy everything that is on sale. So those supermarkets, those housing development that was once owned by local people in some Caribbean countries, I know, are now owned by Chinese. What happens? The local people become economic slaves in their own country, all because of that CBI program that the NDP is talking about. We must not allow it to happen. I've been to a country where I studied some years ago, and I was appalled to see some large supermarket chains that were once locally owned and owned by Chinese. I've lived to see some housing complex for rent that we used to rent as students that are owned by local people in that country and owned by Chinese. And all you're hearing when you go into those countries is Mr. Ching and Mr. Weng and Mr. Ping and Mr. that. The local people are crying out that they are now becoming slaves in their own country. My brothers and sisters, we have been with Taiwan now for many years. We find no fault with Taiwan. Did you find fault with Taiwan? We find no fault with Taiwan. The Taiwanese has not attempted to take over the economy. They have done nothing to take over the economy. As a matter of fact, I don't think they own anything here. I stand corrected. I don't think they own a hotel, or they own a highway, or they own anything at all. They came here to help and serve the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I want to thank them publicly for their help in building the airport, in financing the YES program, in giving so many scholarships to Vincentian people. I want to thank them publicly. But the NDP say, if they win, they're going to mainland China and they're going to run out Taiwan. Because they vex that Taiwan helped us build the airport. They never wanted the airport, you know. I heard Friday saying that Ralph built the airport, but he would make it work. What nonsense. He never believed in it. Never wanted it. How are you going to make it work? As a matter of fact, the major difference, my brothers and sisters, between the Unity Labour Party and the NDP is one of leadership. You hear me? One of leadership. In the ULP, we have a strong, solid leader in the person of Comrade Ralph. And he has led us well for 20 years. But when it comes to the NDP, the leader is a man with a learner's permit. When a man drives on the road with a learner's permit, you got to watch him carefully. He can't drive. Yeah, he can't drive. So Friday is not in that category. He's not in that league. So we will just tell him, no, you're not in this league, my brother. You stay where you are. My brothers and sisters, we are here to open the area for the playing field. But the election is coming up. So we have to tell you about these things so that when you go on polling day, you would know where to put your X and you would know why you're putting it there. To lift St. Vincent higher, to keep the country going, to make sure the development is on target, and we are going on to build a stronger future, not only for ourselves, but for many generations to come. We must therefore not allow the NDP to come into government to sell any passport. We must not allow them to bring the Chinese here to take over the economy. We must not allow them to bring them here to change our culture. We must not allow them to use St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a market for all their fake goods. Tremendous amount of fake goods come out of the country. We don't want them in this country. My brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for coming here. I want to thank you for your attention. And those of you who are listening on the media or whatever, I want to thank you for listening. And I want to thank you for your support in lifting this country higher. I want to thank you for your support for Montgomery Daniel for all these years that he's been serving you. I want to thank you for your support for the Unity Labour Party over the last 20 years. And I urge you to keep the fire burning. I urge you to keep lifting St. Vincent higher. We must not therefore go back and let them carry down the road and we become the laughing stock of the Caribbean. It must not happen. So on November 5th, when you go to the polls, remember, it's Montgomery Daniel and the Unity Labour Party. I want to thank you very much for coming. Thank you for listening. May God bless you. May God bless St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And may God bless all the people of North Windward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Walters, for those introductory remarks and the welcome. Now, while you were here, while Brother Walters was speaking, you heard the cheers that signaled the arrival of the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Gonzalez, but he's meeting the people, greeting his people. So when his turn comes, he would come to the podium. The next speaker to come has been representing North Windward, as was indicated, for many, many years now. Voted into office in 2001 and has been re-elected continuously 2005, 2010, 2015. He has brought significant representation to this constituency. It cannot be trivialized. And there is no way we can overemphasize. It is not possible to overemphasize the significance of the Rabilka Bridge to the upliftment, to the development of North Windward. Yeah. It doesn't matter how you slice it. Had it not been for that Rabilka Bridge, North Windward as we know it would have been 30 years further behind. But then, as the speaker before me mentioned, there have also been other areas of development. And it goes without saying that after spending time in agriculture and developing agriculture, Minister Daniel went into the Ministry of Housing and has given away more housing lots and has built more low, middle, and no-income houses than any other Minister of Housing in the region. Yeah. That is what representation looks like. He has many, many plans going forward, and he's going to tell you about them. But as he speaks, I want you to pay attention. And in your mind's eye, try and connect the dots between what has happened in terms of the laying of the foundation and what will happen as we consolidate and build on what was done between 2001 and now. Ladies and gentlemen present, please welcome your area representative, the Minister of Housing here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Honorable Montgomery Daniel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Prime Minister, my past cabinet colleague, Salmon Walters, and to the people of Langley Park and the various surrounding areas, a pleasant good afternoon to you. Just a while ago, as we are about to start this evening's proceedings, and we were setting up the chairs, I saw some people coming across the road there. And when I asked, they told me it is Chevron John and her entourage coming to listen to this meeting. I said, thank you, Jesus. Because if they're listening, and I'm wondering if they're sitting in the audience there, if they're listening, they will know what would have been the development of this constituency, and I say constituency, over the past 20 years. Comrades, there is no doubt in my mind that come the 5th of November 2020, that this constituency will be home and dry for the ULP for a 5th term. And there's no doubt in my mind that the ULP will form the next government in this country to run the affairs of this country for the next 5 years. Comrades, in my mind, this afternoon is historic. It is historic to the sense that we are here to break ground for a playing field for the area of Langley Park and its surroundings. In January of this year, I caused the Surveyors Department to begin the process of having this land that is before us, to begin the process of having the land surveyed and have it ready for the work to be done. The reason why is that one would say that this activity has taken long to come, but time reveals itself. And so it could not have taken place before. Why? Because the strip of land before us is what the aircraft that used to be spraying the bananas against Lee Spot Control, that the aircraft was using this plot of land for its operations. At the moment, because of the reduction in production of bananas, it is not economically feasible for the aircraft to be operating in least spot control. And so the land has become vacant. The aircraft was using approximately 7 acres of land. And all of that land has become available for the project that is before us. But what has also happened is that along this strip of land that the aircraft was using, we had some farmers who were cultivating on this land. And so, of the 6 farmers that were on either side of the strip of land, we have taken from those 6 farmers land equivalent to almost 7 acres as well. And we are relocating them westward to the north, to the west of where the aircraft used to be stationed when it is refilling in its operation. So that from this road, where we are standing here, to the next road that is going up on the other side, as you can see, it is all of that land going almost halfway up to the middle of that strip that is available for the project that I'm talking about. That is, to the front of the lands here, the preliminary designs of the area has shown that we are going to have approximately 86 lots, building lots, to the front of the playing field. And the playing field will be in the back of the lots that are here. So that, if you look at the area, I am sure the land you're seeing here is equally as big as the Arnorsville playing field. The land area is big. And we want to make sure that this land, which is available for this playing field, can be one of the best playing fields in this country. Comrades, I'm indeed happy that we have waited this long, because when we develop this project, I am sure that our children and our grandchildren are going to be pleased of this facility that will be before us. I know that from time to time, I would have been asked, when are we getting the playing field? When are we getting the playing field, Minister Daniel? I said, just take time. Take time. The youngsters, they were very annoyed, because before I came to this position in 2001, there was an area that was used as a playing field for the people of Langley Park. But the representative then, he took the playing area and he put it into housing and gave no playing area for the people in Langley Park. So, I, as your representative, is now embarking on this project to ensure that the youth and the people of Langley Park have a facility that is going to be #1 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You see, I believe that the past administration and the past representative had no interest in sports. If you ask me, I would tell you, you travel northwards from here, you reach into Orange Hill. What used to be one of the better playing fields north of the river the past representative and the NDP government took that playing field away and gave it to someone to plant bananas. You go further north, you go into Overland, there was a playing field there. Again, that playing field was taken away. It was staying close to the school, the Overland school. Until now, that playing field is not even being used by the people in that community. But the playing field was taken away and given to one person who went and built a house on the playing strip. And that was the individual who owned and controlled the playing field in Overland. That is what happened on the last administration. But no, we have changed that. In Sandy Bay, what we met, we have improved on that facility. We have improved on the closure of that facility. We have regraded the playing area. We have placed new stands in Sandy Bay at London Playing Field. And presently, we are building a hard court on that playing field. And for the first time, lights are going to be placed at London Playing Field where we can have activities in the night, whether it's football or cricket. Yeah. We're going to be having London lighted. We have done work in Over on the playing field. We have also done work in Fancy on the playing field. As a matter of fact, in Fancy, we have enlarged the playing area by placing a back wall to the bottom, and we refilled all of that area. We have placed a hard court as well on that playing field. And it is a spectacle to anyone when you go to Fancy on evenings to see the amount of youths that will come out and play on that hard court on every evening. It is amazing to see what is happening there. So that the playing facilities in this constituency over the last 20 years have been tremendously improved to the extent that the individuals, the children, the youths, all can go onto these playing fields. Not only exercise, but can improve themselves in each of these sporting areas so that you can have individuals developing those skills and challenge any individual in this country, whether it is in cricket, football, or whatever. So, we have done a lot of work on the playing facilities in this constituency. And I'm sure those Sandy Bay would be lighted in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure when this facility is finished, that this facility as well will have lights so that Langley Park will have one of the best playing fields in this area. This is going to be bigger than Chile Playing Field, you know. There are going to be better parking facilities so that you don't have to block the road. Trust me. Trust me. You're going to be having one of the best playing fields in this area. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ensure that in this constituency, we are given equally as good or even better, because as we live day by day, things improve more and more. And so we want to be making sure that we are ahead of the game. I want to say to you that already I am in discussion with someone that when this playing field is finished and it is ready, I want to ensure that we have a lighted scoreboard that will be placed right here. So we are already thinking ahead of the game. Just on Monday of this week, we would have gone to Orange Hill, where we would have opened a complete road in Orange Hill, where 1,960 foot or so of road that has been made available to the people in Orange Hill. The village of Orange Hill came into being around 1992. And by 2001, only 100 foot of road was made available to the people in Orange Hill. We have done, in one swoop, 1,960 foot of road. And the people in Orange Hill is saying welcome to the ULP and to the representation of Montgomery Daniel. Yeah. Comrades, I know we have done several roads in this area, in this part of the constituency. And there are a few more to be done. And I will complete them in the very near future. I want to make sure that I lift the standard of living of our people, thereby lifting St. Vincent and the Grenadines higher. I know the opposition has been saying that nothing has been done for the 20 years that we are in government. But I want to say to you, I am proud. I am proud because I've produced this leaflet. And for those of you who have a copy, it's not hard. It tells you of the work done from 2001 to 2020. But this is not all. It tells you we have revived the arrowroot industry in this country. It tells you we would have built 7 bridges across the constituency. 7 out of 9. There are 2 more to be done. It tells you that we would have improved the network of roads throughout this country. Comrades, when we came to government in 2001, when we were campaigning to get into government in 2001, the youths at that time made a song. It said, NDP, oi, oi, NDP, oi, oi, come out of yard, oi. Why? Because the roads were so terrible, representation was so bad, that the youths at that time, they had no choice than to say to the NDP, please, we're finished, we're done. And we were able to do all of the roads from Georgetown to Fancy, to the extent whereby the past representative, he went in a discussion and he told the Prime Minister, he said, Prime Minister, I'm going to thank you very much. Because when I was in government, I told my colleagues and my Prime Minister to help me. But they said, look, you're just talking nonsense. You're wasting time. You can't put a bridge at Rabaka. He is the one who have indicated that to the Prime Minister. And he was so happy when he saw a bridge across the Rabaka River. And that you would have had several bridges from Caratal to as far as Fancy. And where he could not have had a road to the people at Cottage in Fancy, a road was given to those people in Fancy over at Cottage to the extent that the people can now go straight to their homes where they could not have gone before. You know, and I've said this story before, it used to cost $5 for a sack of rice or flour to be taken on any bus from Kingstown to Fancy at the junction. And to move that flour or sugar from the junction to Cottage is another $5. And so the people, they were so happy that they commended this government very much. And so I want to remind them that this work was done under this government. I want to also say to you that one of the largest projects that were done in this constituency was the fishing complex in Ovia. Some $35 million was spent to ensure that we have a better facility in Ovia. Today, that facility employs around 42 or 43 persons. Never ever before that was so. I want to also indicate to you that this government and your representative would have built several houses in this constituency. We have made several lots available in this constituency. The last set of lands we made available was right on this side, right above here. 68 lots were distributed in 2016. And if you go there right now, I can say to you that you will not see 10% of those lots that are having open spaces. Almost all of the lots are taken up, and substantial houses have been built on those lots. These houses you see right in front here, these were built after the April floods in 2011. You know, that night of April the 11th, I was on Star Radio. I had a program on Star Radio to the nation. And when I left Kingstown, it was drizzling. The rain was drizzling. But when I got to Overland, I could not have passed Overland River. The many logs that were there, I was shocked. While I was there waiting for approximately 10 minutes, I got a call. A young lady who was affected at the time called me. He said, Minister, come. You got to come and see what is happening. She said, Basin Road Bridge gone. I said, but you're joking because I just passed there. She said, no, come and see. So I said, okay, I'm coming. I turned around. And by the time I got back to Rebecca, when I got to Miss Jane, water was about 20 feet in the air. And I had just passed there about 15 minutes ago. What I saw, I could not believe. I immediately turned around to try and go back and to pass the main bridge. I did pass. And I went back into Orange Hill. The next morning, after I slept in my Jeep for that night, the next morning, as the day dawned, I came back down and to see what had happened there. I could not believe. This was a miracle to me. And so, of the houses that were affected then, this government went and spent almost $800 million here to rebuild 13 houses to ensure $800,000 we spent to rebuild 13 houses right here to ensure that people are living in much better accommodation. Before that, the Minister of Housing at that time, Julian Francis, built some houses just across where Miss Henry and those people are living. Those are the 4 set of houses that this government built very early in its administration. And so this area would have benefited well in terms of housing and making lots available to the people right here. So while you would have had all of that, as the area grows, as the community grows, you are now going to have 80 lots on this side. And I can tell you, I am envisioning this area like any other area in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because already you have 800 applications for 80 lots. And I'm sure the selection process is going to be very tight. But this government will continue to make housing lots available and to assist in the building of houses throughout this constituency and throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that work that I would have done equally is to repair the Owe police station and the Owe government school. I'm not sure if any policeman is around here who were living in the Owe police station before we came to government. But the Owe police station itself was vacated by the police and lived in the NCO's quarters because the NCO's quarters was the only building that could have accommodated the police. They had to run out of the main police station because the main police station was just no good. And we had to repair that police station and we make it habitable for the police to live in and to work in. We had to repair the Owe Primary School, the only school in this community, this constituency, this area, that had outside toilets. So when they come in to tell you nothing was done, tell them at Owe, where the children was going to primary school, that they would have allowed their children to have gone to a school in that state to the extent that your children was exposed to lots of pests and diseases. Well, of course, we have done a lot of dot road in that area. But I want to say to you, these are things that I would have done, and much more. We would have done the expansion of the tissue-culture lab at Orange Hill, where over 120 persons are now working. You know what hurts me? The NDP, when they were in government, they closed down the Orange Hill estate with 450 workers. And they made nothing available to the people in this area. Yet they're coming to tell you that this government has not provided any jobs. They closed down the sugar factory, where 2,000 persons were being employed. What have they put in place? Not one single thing. Yet, they're knocking on your door now and telling you jobs, jobs, jobs. You ask them where the jobs are coming from. They're telling you, well, vote for me first, and I go tell you where it's coming from. What madness. What madness. So that the tissue culture labs are providing up to 120 jobs at this moment. And it is producing plants and other services for the farmers of this constituency and other farmers throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That is work that we would have done. Equally, what I love most of all was that the banana industry, which was being challenged at the time, that we had to retrain our farmers. We had to make our farmers more competitive as the agriculture sector became more and more competitive. And so I went to the cabinet and got the cabinet approval to build a farmers training institute where farmers could have been retrained so that you can now get involved into other high-yielding crops. But you need to be retrained for that purpose. And as we get into new crops and have to produce at a higher level, because we are having 4 more major hotels in this country. 4 major hotels. And those hotels are asking us, the farmers of this country, to provide for the hotels, to provide the food for these hotels. And so, the Ministry of Agriculture would have to ensure that the farmers are trained to the extent that they can rise to that level to produce what is required in this competitive world. And the Farmers Training Institute was developed for this, so that the end result, the objective, can be reached. I want to also say to you that another area that I'm well pleased about, when we came to government, right across Ancilla, water used to be right over and come into the road on a normal day, because the whole area, the coast, was being eroded. And water used to come into the road, flash into the road. And we were able, with the help of the Taiwanese government, we were able to do a sea defense right there and to protect that road. And if you ain't notice it, you're going to say, well, boy, this is things as usual. But we would have done tremendous work there to make sure that the commuters and those living around there, that they are much safer. These are things that you have to let them know that we would have done. Although we'd have done other things, I want to say to you that the education revolution is something that I hold dear to my heart. When we came to government, the children from Sandy Bay, Owe and Fancy used to have to come to Georgetown Secondary School. Those who were given that opportunity. Because as you know, more than 70% of the children north of the river did not have that opportunity to go to secondary school. But today, the children of this constituency, and particularly north of the river, the children can go to a secondary school to the extent that I am so impressed of the outturn of the Sandy Bay Secondary School this year, to the extent that they would have had 71% pass mark in the overall CXC exams. And they're getting better and better every year. And so they have been performing well in the temporary structures that are there, that this government has decided to make a permanent structure for them. And that structure will be starting very soon. I am happy that I would have been able to make great representation to the constituency of North Windward. And I thank the constituents for giving me their support over the last 20 years. But I can say to you that the constituents has asked of me to continue for another 5 years. And so I have accepted that responsibility for another 5 years. And I want to say to you, in this document that is before you, there are at least 9 major things that I want to see accomplished within the next 5 years. Number 1, I just mentioned a while ago, I am going to ensure that there is a building of a new secondary school in this constituency of North Windward. Secondly, I want to see, and things are in train, to see a new arrowroot factory in this constituency of North Windward. Arrowroot is one of the best crops for us in St. Vincent. It stands up to the extreme weather conditions, whether high winds, whether drought season, whether it's super erupts. The arrowroot is a crop that is well suited for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is an indigenous crop for us. It provides food. It provides medicine for us. And this government has already approved of the marijuana industry in this country. As the marijuana industry progresses, and where medicine, particularly when you have tablets, these tablets have to be coated with things like starch, and particularly arrowroot starch is one of the best for it. And so I see the arrowroot industry twinned with the medical marijuana industry for the benefit of the people, not only in this constituency, but for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I look forward to this project with great anxiety. Thirdly, I want to establish a city fence for Sandy Bay. Already, I'm understanding that this project, which is costing about $30 million, is well in train, and the Prime Minister is now saying it's a little bit more than that. He's saying now it's closer to 40 because the longer that we take to establish this project, it is more expensive. It is becoming. The village of Sandy Bay, which is on the coastline, is being eroded year after year. And we must do something for that village. And so, in this 5-year period, the people of Sandy Bay, the community of Sandy Bay, can see a project of city fence for their own good. I want to see, fourthly, as the agriculture sector become more and more competitive, that the boxing plant that is operating right here, that the boxing plant take on the operations of buying all farmers' produce for local consumption and for export. You see, St. Vincent and the Grenadines produces a lot of agricultural crops. But there are other countries that produce such crops as well. But we have to ensure that we are a notch above the rest, so that in purchasing of farmers' produce, that grading and standards are important in our export trade. And so, the day will come when our trade beyond St. Vincent and the Grenadines will not accept dasheen in bags anymore or yams in bags anymore. They want them to be properly packed and graded so that the competition meets the eye. It is important that we go that far, and I want to see the boxing plant be operational for all of the farmers' produce in this country. I also want to see a further linkage of the indigenous peoples of this country and other indigenous peoples in the world. For those of us who are very versed in our history knows that our foreparents were exiled out of this country after 1795. And so our brothers and sisters, be it in Honduras, be it in Belize, be it in Nicaragua, wherever, we want to rekindle our kinship and to make sure that we unite our Garifuna brothers and sisters once again. That is very dear to my heart. I want to ensure that the housing revolution continues. I want to ensure that building lots are made available to our families in this area. And so, I know that over the period of time I would have been in the Ministry of Housing, that tremendous amount of work has been done in the improvement of housing in this constituency. I want to continue in that regard. And where we can't build houses, to ensure that we assist you with materials to ensure that you can improve on your own home. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate very much being your representative for the next 5 years. Yeah. And there's no doubt in my mind, after November the 5th, North Windward will remain. And North Windward will say, 5 in a row. Go high, go low. It's 5 in a row. I know that a lot is being said, that there's a challenge in North Windward. And there has always been challenges in life. And I welcome challenges over the years. But this time, every time I go to the polls, the numbers go up and up. And this time, it is going even more. I'm saying to you, it's 5 in a row. 5 in a row. Go high, go low. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Minister Daniel, for that very energetic, lively account of your stewardship over the years and a look into the future of what is to come. Here with us is the man who has held the team together for the last 19 plus years. He has garnered the affection of many. The love of our people flows genuinely towards him. That's why they call him Comrade. He intends to lead you further. He doesn't want to leave an unfinished task. And he comes to you to ask you to allow him to build on and consolidate on the gains that this government has made. For this election, the term given to you, given to him by you, is world boss. Let me invite, and listen, I do not know how he does it. I am younger than him, but I don't have the energy he has. But when I see him doing it, I am forced to do it too, because I can't look bad that my boss, who's older than me, has more energy than me. So I have to try and keep up. Let's welcome the energetic boss, the world boss, Dr. the Honorable Ralph E. Gonsalves.
Comrades and friends of North Windward, I see people here from Sandy Bay. I see from down in Spring Village, Caratal, Langley Park, Mount Bentic. Who are from Basinol? I'm very happy to be here this evening, and I also greet all the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are here at an important governmental function. But you know, the business in which we are involved has two dimensions. One is government and one is politics. Just like a bird can't fly on one wing, especially at a time like this, you have to fly with government and you have to fly with politics in order for us to land safely on election day. So you're going to hear, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You can get your wings and fly, girl. Yes, yes, yes. I want to first of all say how pleased I am with the performance of Montgomery Daniel as parliamentary representative of North Windward and as a minister of the cabinet of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Whatever portfolio he is assigned, whether it was agriculture, fisheries, forestry, or over the last many years, housing and lands and physical planning, a very important ministry. I remember in 2010, I said to him, I know you like being Minister of Agriculture. I said, but comrade, we need to build more houses for the people and we need to distribute more lands for the people. We need to regulate the physical structures in this country better. And I say, I look around in the cabinet, and the best man I think for this is you. And since 2010, Montgomery Daniel has built over 1,500 houses and has distributed nearly 5,000 lots of land. The government as a whole, we have distributed approximately 6,000 lots of land since 2001. And we have built over 2,000 houses. Montgomery has built most of them and distributed most of the lands. That's why anytime you come to me and ask me about land, the first thing out of my mouth, you talk to Gomery? Because that is the man who know about lands, and that is the man who know about housing. And he has distributed more building materials than any minister in the history of this country since universal adult suffrage in 1951. In short, he has improved immensely the lives and living condition of the ordinary men and women of this country. He has done so well that there should build a statue for him up here in North Windward. They should build a statue for him because this is a man who has performed extremely well in what has been assigned to him. He's not a fella who is flashy, just like when he's bowling and batting, when he used to play cricket. Solid. You can depend on him all the time. Sometimes you go to him. You see, he take out a little piece of paper from his pocket, or you open a book and he write down something. He say, all right, we go talk. That is how he goes about his work. And he goes about his work with great diligence. And he looks after the interests of the individuals. Montgomery Daniel, more than any other parliamentary representative since I am Prime Minister, is the one who comes to me with most individual requests about individual persons in his constituency. Others do. But he, most of all. This is why when some people were saying that he's been there since 2001, maybe somebody else. I say, comrade, the party said they want me to lead again. I don't want to break in any younger person in North Windward. I want you to stay with me. You will make my job easier. He told me he will give it prayerful consideration. And he came back to me. He said, comrade, we start this journey together in 2001 in government. All right. I will go with you and we will end the journey together. So I am asking you, as a personal favor, to vote for Montgomery Daniel yet again. I also say this to you. As I said from the very beginning in 2001, I said it in 98, and I say it in 2001, and I'll say it again. When you vote for Gomery, you are voting for two representatives because you know the number of people, especially from Montbendick and Langley Park and Basin Hole, who come to me. You come to me as though I am your representative. Many of you here, I know your faces. I know your faces. You meet me anywhere. You come and look for me. My entire staff know you. So when you vote the Unity Labour Party and Ralph and Gomery are wrong, you're voting two for the price of one. I want you to reflect on that. I hear they say that there's a teacher lady who running against Gomery. Now I have nothing bad to say about her. I ain't saying one thing bad about any candidate. I keeping it clean and upfront. I'll say this. I worry though. I worry though, when somebody is a beneficiary of the education revolution, go to university under this government, and if the NDP was in power, she never would have been able to go to university. That when you don't benefit from the education revolution, you turn wrong and badmouth it. So you drink from the pail with the milk of education at university level, and then you want to kick it down. Well, the Bible has certain things which are said about persons like that. I will not say it. You know the Bible well. You know, I am amazed, and I will repeat it to show you how people lose sight of reality. They had a rally up in Ovia. You and I know that they would not have been able to consider having that rally to launch their candidates, especially in the rainy season, if we didn't build the Rabaka Bridge. Because everybody would have said we can't take people up there. The guy would take them up there and river come down. Nobody could move. And yet they say, nothing do. And then they will never have been able to have, they say they had 3,000 people there. They're bringing a lot of people. Hear me now. You got 3,000 people, according to them, in a small area. At the time of COVID, if, with no mask, if we did not handle COVID well, you could not have had that public meeting. These are the facts, you know. And I tell you, people who come from down Leeward, they must have been surprised. They say, as they're driving along the way on the day, and they leave Zion Hill. And when they put up a Zion Hill, and they watch down at Zion Hill, down in Annisville, they say, but wait. Look at how they expand the technical college down there. And when they come down, they say, well, wait. They're building a shopping mall by the old E.T. Joshua Airport. Eh? You hear me? And then, when they drive a little bit more, they see the design of the acute referral hospital. They start to say to themselves, but how they say Ralph not do nothing? And when they're driving along, when they see Annisvale playing field, they say, but wait. I remember in 2007, they spent over $50 million fixing up the sporting facilities there. And at Zion Hill. I'm talking about as you're coming along the way. And when you reach Chalakwa, whatever building, Rainforest Seafood building at $10-12 million facility to package lobster, conch, and fish. You hear me? I'm just talking about happening along the road, you know. Then they see sign here, they see the playing field at Calaqua in good repair and well fenced. And they got like, they say, boy, this country moving, how they say, that not. I like when they bring them out, you know, to open their eye so that they could see. And Moses say, we mustn't believe just what we hear, you know. We must do especially what we see. And when they're coming along, those who never see Argyle International Airport before, they say, oh, what an airport. And all along when they drive in, going all the way to Owia, they say, wait, America we there? What pretty house? I never see pretty house like this. But the truth is this, they got pretty house down on the leeward side of the island to plenty. And when they're driving on the road, they meet Mongrenan Bridge, which is a new bridge. They meet Bellevue Bridge, which is a new bridge. River Defense by Bellevue. They come Connery, is a brand new bridge. They got River Defense. They come up, they reach Byra, they see a brand new bridge and River Defense. They say, but wait. Then they reach Montjong. They see another bridge. They see another bridge there. Then when they reach Caratal, they see this big carriageway bridge. And then they see a whole set of boulders and all kind of other tripods and all kind of things. They say, what happening there? They say there's a $25 million river defense. They come right to do a Georgetown to save Georgetown. And then Raboka, and so on and so forth. Sometimes you yourself, when you drive it, you forget some of the things where we do. Until I reminding you, you say, boy, I true. You hear me? I'll tell you this. This country, in relation to playing fields, we have built more playing fields than any government, playing facilities than any government in the history of this country. Right in this constituency, and my own, and Saboto own, and Gusta's own, and you're going down, you see playing fields that you have not seen before. Anybody ever hear that regional cricket playing in a village? Park Hill? They play regional cricket there. They play it and they kick national football by Chile, you know. And look at how Gomery fix up London and fixing it up even more. And Gomery has been on my case for a playing field up here. We even had conversations with the Balcoms. You remember Gomery? About seeing if we can get enough land to buy, to have a playing field. You know, before many of you here were born, you see where Indian and all them fellas live, near to the old Monbendick sugar factory. where houses there used to be a playing field there, you know, in the middle of a cane field. The older, I play cricket there, you know, as a youngster. But we couldn't get that work. And Gomery say, comrade, I think we got enough land up here that we can do the playing field. And I say, well, comrade, if you feel so, let me go and do it. And the size he tell you is a good size. It's 7, 8 acres, they say, Gomery? Yes, Prime Minister. 7, 8 acres, good size. Up at Park Hill, I had to build a playing field. Similar acreage, but for my acreage, I had to move down a mountain. The people wanted to know how I was going to build a playing field there. As I moved 4 mountains to build the airport, is 1 mountain to build a playing field I can't move. I moved the mountain. In fact, in South Rivers, I divert, like them fellas could tell you, I divert a stream and move 3 houses and build the houses elsewhere much better, upstairs and downstairs house, to build a playing field in South Rivers. That's how we go about our work to represent our people. I want to give great respect and regard to the young men and women who are cricketers and footballers and athletes. And I know the footballers, many of you play for under 19 and under 23. Some of you are probably in the audience. And I know the problem you have to go practice. Sometimes you can't go by Chile because it's so occupied, especially since the one down at Brownstown got washed away. But I'm settling back. Okay. And I know you would even go from here, Gomery, as you know, to Montreal to kick ball. They'll go rob a car, they'll even reach London to kick ball. Well, now, you have a playing field right in your backyard. The other thing is this. In order to lead or to represent people, you have to know people. You have to know them. Gomery Daniel knows almost every family in his constituency. He knows from his days working in the extension service of the government in the Ministry of Agriculture and in bananas. He knows every by road and side road. He could tell you, this person is a farmer, that one gave up farming, the child gone to Atola, this one got 2 children who went to Canada. When you hear Gomery on it, I'm usually amazed at his knowledge of his people. I ask you, especially here in Mount Benedict Langley Park Basin Hole, I ask you this. You think this young lady know you all and know your concerns? Eh? You know, and the people who they're introducing she to are some who long ago associated with Monty Roberts. I hear she went looking for Goo boots. They say they want me under the pole. Yeah. I hear she went looking for Google boots. And instead of finding Google boots, they find Google boots on. That will be here. I can't swear for it, but that's why I'm here. No, let us be serious. Let us be really serious. Huh? Yes, man, I'm the world boss. The political world boss. The 5-star general. The comrade who is going to lead you 5 in a row. No question about that. I will tell you this. Selman Walters, who is in charge of the Arut industry, very quietly, in this period of COVID, between April and September, is $3.2 million that were paid out to workers and farmers in the Arut industry, you know. You hear that? In a small geographic area. And we ain't selling passport. We just had a road cleaning. A special one because of dengue. It's $2.5 million that, you know. At the same time, we're giving out unemployment benefits still, including for the sailors, until down in December. Eh? And between, hear me now, and between last month and this month, is about 4,200 farmers we paid the $500. If you not get, you can put yourself in the place to get Portuguese. Portuguese, you can put yourself in the place to get. You hear me, Portuguese? No. Your name gone on the internet now, Portuguese. Hey, Bori, you there? You there, England? Are you about Portuguese? You there right here? Bori there, Canada. Bori. Yeah. I believe Bori is smiling way they know. You wish he was here. Anyway, his brother is here. Dadridge is here. Brother is here. And I remember Lenny Bino was a fighter for the working people from the days of Joshua right up to our time of blessed memory. You have to, if you want to lead, you got to know people, you know. You have to know people if you want to lead. And they have to know you. No. They say that they're going to sell passports and make money. Well, you have heard me on the question of the principle of this. The passport and the citizenship are the sacraments of nationhood. They're not for sale. But watch this. They talk about St. Kitts. St. Kitts has a population of 50,000 people. But they got nearly 30,000 people from outside who got their passport, you know. 30,000 people ain't got nothing to do with St. Kitts. Suppose all of them, or a large number, then come back. What happened to the country? Eh? You want to see a whole set of people, including a whole set of vagabonds, who buy these passports to come and live among you and take over your country? This election is about the soul of the nation. While we are protecting the soul of the nation, the NDP is involved in the sale of the nation. Yes, it's labor you have to say. It's labor you have to say. And imagine this. Patel Matthews, whose last name rhymes with lose. He and Friday say up over here that they are going to legalize ganja. What we have done, what we say, we will build a medical cannabis industry in which we have local cultivators licensed so that they can make money legally. Yes, and then, but particularly what they want to do, what we have done in accordance with international law, we say, if you have a spliff under 56 grams, 2 ounces, you can't be arrested for it. You can't be jailed for it. And you wouldn't have a record for it. They go further. They say you must free it up completely. You hear me? They say you must free it up completely. And then they also say that everybody must be able to plant at least 5 ganja plants in the yard. Now a ganja plant grow to 10 feet. That is 50 feet of weed. The first thing what is going to happen, the male of the species ganja, it will cross-fertilize all the other medicinal ganja. So that would be the end of the medicinal ganja industry. Because you have to have a seed to sale arrangement. Special strain for the medical cannabis. Read the science to tell you that. Just like Trump ignoring the science about COVID, Patel and Friday, they ignoring the science about ganja. So that's the first thing. That's the end of the medical cannabis industry. But more than that, when you're in your kitchen making breakfast for your 11-year-old boy to go to his CPEA class at Langley Park, while you're busy doing that and getting the younger ones ready, he done a couple days ago take off some of the ganja from the plant, one of the 5 plants, and then dry up and he roll it up. And before he get tea, he gonna smoke weed. Yeah? That's the country you want? Yeah? No, you don't lock up a man. You meet him on the road with a spliff. You treat that as a health and educational issue. But if you, by international law, don't regulate it, they will put sanctions on this country. That means you wouldn't be able to get your Western Union money. You would not be able to get your MoneyGram. So what are you going to do? 1/4 of the population, 1/2 of the population, smoking weed from small till they're growing up. And that if you want something to eat, get it from a Chinese man or a white man who buy your passport. That's how you're going to live. That's the vision for this country. Eh? Oh, girl, you're talking something that I didn't know. I didn't know them thing there. I didn't know them thing there. And I ain't not saying whose husband is a drug lord. I ain't saying nothing like that. I don't know them thing there, girl. I don't know one of them thing there. I keep my mouth shut on them thing there. Eh? That is their vision for this country. Our vision is to work hard and smart and develop St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as we have been doing. I ask you this question. The other countries in the OECS, the independent countries, they sell passport and citizenship. Not one of them handle the COVID as well as we have, both with lives and livelihoods. Not one of them. Yes. Let me tell you, Leacock fighting for his seat there. Leacock is fighting for his seat, so too is Cummins, believe me, because they now realize that people are about to teach them a lesson because they were poor representatives. They bra in parliament and the radio, but they don't pay attention to people on the ground. You hear what I'm telling you? And they don't represent the people properly on the ground either. Because you have to have love to represent people. Look. Listen. This is a serious business. This election. Friday is a learner. I have an all-type license. I could drive every vehicle by any road. You hear me? These are difficult times. You can't put a learner at the wheel. Because leadership matters. Leadership matters. I want every one of you here tonight, between now and election day. You know what we have done. You know the plans that we have. And Sunday night in Tongue, at Richmond Hill at 7 o'clock. They started at 5? At 5 o'clock. Start at 5 o'clock. We're having a rally to present our manifesto. 100 pages. It's ready already. You want to pass the manifesto to give me Gumri? Let me show. The biggest manifesto ever produced anywhere in the Caribbean. Chock full with policies and programs. But when you come, I want you to bring your mask. Either the labor mask which you have or any other mask. Because we can protect ourselves. Okay? Please. But I want to see you there. I want when you turn out and the crowd is there, I want you to say, "I shake in the mountain." I want you to shake the mountain. I want you to turn out in your numbers. Don't worry. Gumri and the comrades in the area are organizing the transport. And those who are hearing me all about, organize the transport. We will pay for the transport. Just check out. Just check out whose transport you're taking. I want you to come there. And I want you armed with all the knowledge that you have about what we have done and what we are planning further to do. I am saying to you, I want each of you to go and see which neighbor, which person who you know going to your church, who support NDP in the past. I want you to talk to them
I want you to talk to them and tell them you can't risk anything. Gomri and the comrade and ULP handle the COVID well. Leadership matters. They have good plans. They have achieved a lot. You can't take a chance on any greenhorn at this time. You can't gamble. You can't gamble. I normally demonstrate with a glass. Bring a bottle of water to give me. This is how I meet the glass of governance by the NDP, empty. Over the years, I built it past 3/4. So a little drop remained to fill it up. NDP say, but look at that part there. You know, see Ralph not do that. Ralph not do that. And forgetting that I fill it up more than 3/4. The reason why I'm coming to you for a 5th term is to fill it to the brim, so I will not leave behind an unfinished task. That is how it is. I have to go to 2 other events tonight. I want to thank you for listening to me. God bless you. Know that I love you. And know up here and in that windward, you get 2 for the price of 1. You get Gomri and you get the comrade. You get the 5-star general. You get the political world boss. Thank you very much.
Thank you much, Prime Minister. Now, we were supposed to be having the groundbreaking, the turning of the sod, but because of the time and the unavailability of lights on the area, we would be forfeiting that. We would not be doing that this evening. So with this, we've come to the end of this evening's ceremony. Let me thank you so much for coming out. You've been a fantastic audience. Let me wish you safety getting back home, and have an enjoyable evening and an enjoyable weekend. Thank you so much, and God bless.